We've got the first 2 weeks of the Frost Battle League here. Big transactions as well after week 1 that I made, so we'll talk about that in between the games. But if you're excited for today's video, make sure to subscribe if you have not already. We are trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, and every subscription, hey, helps a ton towards hitting that goal. As I said, we got big transactions coming up, and it's kind of funny how the transactions play out. We'll talk about that when we get there. This is an interesting matchup against Corey. He's got Terrazarud. Terrazarud is like a crazy broken Pokemon of all time of Doom. Like, how do you beat this guy literally ever? It's funny, this team is very similar to the team that J-Rookie had when we lost to him in the final week of the BBR season, except instead of stuff like Blaziken as his overwhelming offensive threat, he's got Ursaluna, which provides a little bit of a different angle of attack. Here in this matchup, he's got kind of a similar core. He's got the Fezandipity, but he's got stuff like Fortress here, and then Jirachi as well. Jirachi is super, super good here. Let's take a look at the team that I'm bringing this week. This is the last time you'll see this team in this iteration, so enjoy the team. Meowscarada is Choice Scarf. I have Overgrow because I don't have any other coverage. Obviously, I have U-Turn. But I was thinking it's like, I don't know, maybe I get into a position where I switch in on like ground moves or something. Like if I switch in, I don't know, an Ursaluna, right? Like switching on Ursaluna would be crazy, but like, I don't know, maybe I switch it off. Maybe I get into Overgrow range, right? And I just have the ability for it. I don't need the Protean for U-Turn, so this is just a generic Scarf set. I didn't really have the need for coverage either, so we'll throw Spikes on. Spikes are pretty good against this team. Pressure Zarude, Jirachi, and Bundle mainly. Fezandipity as well, but Fezandipity's HP is not super relevant in this game because it's either going to be at very, very high HP or we'll be able to whittle it down without the Spikes anyway, so we'll see how that plays out. I'm Terra Grass on my Chi-Yu this week. So Terra Chi-Yu, I have Grass. I have to protect myself against Dugtrio. I think there's a decent chance it doesn't come in this matchup just because there's few things for it to trap. The only thing it can really trap effectively is the Chi-Yu, which can Terra out of being trapped. So we'll run that anyway because Terra Blast Grass is also nice for the Rotom. So that's really important. And then we're Boots here, 3 attacks. Otherwise, just very, very standard set. Iron Hands is our other Terra Captain. It's Terra Bug. I love a good Terra Bug Pokemon. Iron Hands is Terra Bug, mainly for the defensive typing against the Zarude. This is kind of like the Zarude check in this battle. Whirlwind, obviously, throw it away. Volt Switch is pretty nice. The only ground type here is Ursaluna, which doesn't want to switch into fighting coverage, and Dugtrio, which doesn't want to switch into any attack at all. This Terra type also protects you against Dugtrio trapping, though I'm not as concerned about it with Iron Hands as it would be otherwise, because it's basically you have to sack a Pokemon to get it, and the Pokemon this is coming in on is like Zarude. So if like my opponent loses Zarude and I get trapped on Iron Hands, I mean, I guess that's a good trade for me. I'll take that. Rocky Helmet Screamtail, this is a classic set that I use a lot of the time when I play against Ursaluna with my Screamtail. Encore Endure with Rocky Helmet, full Fizz Def. I should have had some special attack, I think. You'll see that in the battle. Kind of second guess myself there. I think I had a better set for that than this, but this is my favorite way to deal with Ursaluna, right? You Encore any setup set, you endure Rocky Helmet against all the Flame Orb sets, use Dazzling Gleam to chip it, and it basically neutralizes any effect that Pokemon could have the entire battle. And then I have Psyshock here just as a way to chip down the Fezandipity, keep it low if it wants to come in and just spam a poison attack against me, but I do have Registeel in the back for that as well. Mesprit, J-Ricky Berry on this one. Healing Wish is just really powerful of a move, right? And like this is what this thing's goal is going to be most weeks, is just to get off a Healing Wish into something like Chi-Yu and just put up as much offensive pressure as possible. Psyshock is obviously really good into that Fezandipity, help break that, and then Knockoff's just a great click in this matchup, right? Any Pokemon that wants to come in doesn't really want to lose their item here. Zarude definitely doesn't want to lose the leftovers for Spidef Bulk Up. Bundle doesn't want to lose a Choice Scarf to protect against Choice Scarf Meowscarada. Jirachi, like there's so many things I don't want to take this Knockoff. So very, very useful move. But this is basically going to be like a sack and then Healing Wish into something. And then my rocker this week, I got Heavy Slam Body Press. I threw Iron Defense on here, honestly, at the last minute. I was like, maybe this will be useful, right? Like, I had no reason for it to use another slot. I'm like, yeah, maybe we spit off Iron Defense. So obviously, there's a lot of Encore here, but I might find some use. But this goal is just to come in on Fezandipity and just spam Heavy Slam the best that I can. This team goal really is just to spam as much damage as I can with Chi-Yu, get some Choice Scarf Meowscarada damage, and hopefully Registeel can patch up potential weaknesses against stuff like Iron Bundle and Fezandipity. It's time for some Frost Battle Leaguing. Let's go. A few things that are interesting to note that have been missed out on. No Jirachi. What is missing here? No Jirachi, no Dugtrio. Dugtrio's the main kind of deterrent for my Terra type here, being grass, and there's no Skeledirge either. So it's Terra, Electric, Zarude, which I half expected, to be honest. It kind of makes sense, right? It's like the best neutral typing against like my entire team. Dude, did my Mesprit nickname not? I just didn't nickname my Mesprit. That's so stupid. Wow, I suck. I'm just gonna lead Meowscarada. Meowscarada leads the best against everything besides Choice Scarf Iron Bundle, which I have to scout for here. I also want to protect the information on my Meowscarada, right? Like, I think it's important to do that. And he just goes for the U-turn. So that leads me to believe it could be something like that. Let's see if Flamewar Burn. Okay, Flamewar Burn comes off, which means we always go Screamtail here. Screamtail is just our best way to handle this Pokemon. Given the fact that he has no Dugtrio, we're probably going to tear our Iron Hands here in this battle, I would say. Just as an added way to help manage the Zarude. It's just a better typing for a lot of what he's got going on. I expect if it's electric, I don't think Terra Blast Electric is really logical here, right? You have to say, like, I would have to imagine it would be something like, you know, bulk up recovery, like bulk up leftovers jungle healing with like dark grass coverage then, is what I would have to guess. I guess it doesn't hit the Chi-Yu, but that does so much damage. That's so embarrassing. But our goal, right, is just to like take some chip from this. It's just to kind of basically ruin the rest of the HP that this Pokemon can put on us. So let's endure here. So that'll help get us some extra chip. This Pokemon is now basically dead here at this point. Hold on, let me go Ursaluna. Is there a reason? I mean, this is such a scuffed way to manage this Pokemon, right? But I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? I might as well just Dazzling Gleam for a little bit of chip, right? Yeah. And Trail Blaze, okay. I think the plus speed doesn't actually matter at all. What is this hitting at max? I don't reveal anything by going Meowscarada, right? Like Ursaluna, a +1. And we traded our whole Screamtail for Ursaluna, right? Like, this is a set that we've used like a million times before. And that, like, it's usually not like a big deal to do this. Let me just like super calc here. I mean, I can knock off. Yeah, I'm just gonna go Meowscarada. It's pretty safe. I mean, this is a situation like you see me do Screamtail. This was Screamtail like a million times, right? It's such a free trade here for this Pokemon. I'm just gonna click knock. I don't think you preserve this, right? I think it would be pretty illogical at this point to save this, and this doesn't reveal Choice Scarf as well, which is pretty important that we keep the Choice Scarf a secret at this point. But Screamtail for Ursaluna was an acceptable trade. That was kind of the plan for that Screamtail set, and we've kind of gotten through this initial part of the game. We still don't know a lot about the Iron Bundle. I kind of want to get a Hazard up at some point, to be honest with you. Just to like figure that out. They're going to swap out, saving that as a sack. Custap Berry is interesting. A Hazard or a T-Wave is coming here, I think. Is it worth it to get aggressive on Chi-Yu and take a Thunder Wave? Right? Like, is that worth it? This does get Thunder Wave, right? I'm not like tripping. I think you're gonna click Thunder Wave here, right? Do I need the speed, I guess is the question. I kind of want the speed for the Zarude. The problem is I don't want him to get hazards for free. I'm gonna go Chi-Yu here. I think Chi-Yu is like a little bit aggressive and a little bit risky. But if he goes for the Thunder Wave, yeah, he's just gonna get up the rocks, right? Like, that's just the responsible thing to do. No reason to do anything complicated here. Given this turn, I think I just Flamethrower, right? It just goes into Pheasantipity. A burn would have been nice, an overheat would have been nice, but there's no reason to do anything complicated, right? This gets me into Registeel and allows me to get my own Stealth Rocks up, which is crucial on this specific turn. And then if my opponent goes Ursaluna, then they have to make a tough choice, right? They probably just ground coverage, and I can go Mesprit. I mean, they can Facade, I guess, into Registeel, and I think I have to be okay with that. Dude, everyone's hating on my Chi-Yu doing so little in the chat. This is so sad. Okay, this is going to be Ursaluna. Do I outspeed this? No, the fact that it Trailblaze means I probably don't, right? Like, that would be pretty crazy. Mesprit is the most expendable Pokemon on this team. I have to be content with risking that. I still really need this Pokemon. This Pokemon is so good against, like, their top 3 that it's just not worth a risk. I maybe should have, like, looked at the investment on my Screamtail. The fact that this is 8% here coming back in is a little bit annoying, right? Like, I feel like maybe I could have, like, optimized my set maybe a little bit for this, but I don't know. I'm not too concerned about it. Facade. Okay. That's fine. This thing has to die to come back in now, so we've had to sack 2 Pokemon of this Ursaluna, which is not great. I mean, certainly not great, but we are okay with this. Let's take a look at the Fezandipity calc. U-turn kills this as well now, so we're going to come in and U-turn after the fact. Flamethrower, this is full call. Is this like Assault Vest? This is like AV. Okay, this is AV Fezandipity. Interesting. I'm just going to U-turn. I either get the kill or they save this as a sack. And the fact that this is AV, it means that they can't actually gain health back now the rest of the bat. They can't gain health with this. Alright, we'll take that. It's a good turn for us. And now Ursaluna is relegated to being a sack at this point, so let's get our Chi-Yu in. We know that the Fezandipity comes back in. We know that the sequence is fine for us, right? Because they die to Ursaluna. Like, the Ursaluna can't punish me anymore on this sequence. And I know that this is AV. And I get the burn. Wow, the burn's pretty nice there. The burn doesn't hurt. I'd love to get my Stealth Rocks up at some point, right? Like, getting my Stealth Rocks up would give me information on Iron Bundle. They're running out of Chi-Yu switch-ins as well. Just like as a kind of a heads up with that. Like, this thing can't switch into Chi-Yu anymore. So that's pretty good for me. If I can find a situation to get Chi-Yu in for free, I keep getting kills now. Like, you can't go Ursaluna here, right? It just dies. Yeah, okay. I think they misunderstood. I think that was maybe a little bit of a misstep there. What gets the kill there? Okay, in comes the Zarude. Zarude is interesting. He has to Terra, right? I'm gonna go Iron Hands here, I think, actually, to start with. Because I need to preserve HP on this for Iron Bundle. So I'm just gonna go Iron Hands. This is my initial answer to this. It's SD, okay, that's good to note. Which means that I should be able to check this thing with the Zarude. So +2. Iron Hands. Power Whip is dealing a lot. My Earthquake is doing a lot back. And my Earthquake, this does put it in range. I could Terra. Is it worth Terraing here? No, I think, like, if they have to go for Power Whip, right? Like, I think I just accept them going for Power Whip in this spot. Yeah. Let's just Earthquake this. With the Rocky Helmet and the Earthquake damage, this will be pretty good. And they're just going to go Rotom. Okay. That is perfectly fine with me. Obviously, I was never Volt Switching on that turn. Question here is, do I want to change? Now that I know this is SD, I can Iron Defense now. What is this? SD... this might actually be Terra Blast last. I know I'm outsped by this. I assume a Will-O-Wisp is coming out here. I do have Body Press as one of my things, which I don't like that. This is a really good Will-O-Wisp turn here. I think I have to accept getting Willowed on something. And I think my best bet is to get Willowed on Iron Hands to get momentum into my Chi-Yu. Okay, they just Volt Switch instead. That's perfect. That's actually really, really good for me. It's a little bit low HP for my liking. The problem is also this might be... I still don't have a good perspective on this Zarude set. They're probably not going into it here, right? You don't want to take unnecessary chip. I could see them going something like... They could go Fezandipity here, I think. They can go Fezandipity here, and then I can probably just get my Stealth Rocks up. I think if I get my Stealth Rock... I'm really concerned with this Iron Bundle in the back. This Iron Bundle in the back is kind of a problem. I think everything else I can kind of manage from here. Fortress, okay. This is a free kill with the Chi-Yu, okay. Because now I can pick up the pheasant. I can pick up a Pokemon here for free. And I minimize the hazards here that are being set up. And I'll Terra this. I don't think I want to Terra the Iron Hands at this point. The Iron Hands is after Stealth Rock's in range of some Power Whip rolls from Jolly, which is not great. But I'm okay to pick up a kill here. I'll take that all day. I outspeed any like random fast, but this has to be full max Spadef on the Pheasantipity here, I think, given how it's played. The question here is, I mean, I'm taking this Pokemon. I guess the question is for Chi-Yu, what do I do? Overheat is like a potential kill on this Zarude, and no, it's not a kill in my favor though. Quick attack, okay. Sure. Little chip damage. I think Zarude is certainly coming out here though. +2, it does put my Iron Hands in range for certain calcs. I have to be mindful of that. But I don't have another play, I think. There. I mean, like, this is the game plan, right? Like, this team, like, Ursaluna and Zarude just, like, overwhelm kind of my resources. I have to kind of play into the team. I have to play the team that I brought, right? You gotta dance with the... What is it? You dance with the girl you brought to the dance, or whatever it's called, the prom or something. I mean, this is the game plan that I enacted. I gotta play to it, right? So this, and the biggest thing left to really figure out in this battle is this Choice Scarf Iron Bundle. That's a real big thing here. The U-turn makes me think it kind of is, because they're probably trying to play for that sequence at the start, right? I'm just gonna go into Registeel. I don't think they're gonna do anything too crazy. At worst case, it's gonna be something like they could Hydro here, but I don't know. I don't think they're gonna do. If they Hydro here, right, I can just go into my Meowscarada. I think they just U-turn, yeah. There's going to be a U-turn into the Zarude. Into the Fortress. Okay, so they're trying to just get hazards up here. If they... I don't care if they T-Wave actually at this point. I think the speed actually on Chi-Yu does not matter in the slightest. They could Volt Switch, I guess. That's like a possibility. Does this even... What does this even do to my Registeel? Can I just Iron Defense up and just like go... Like kind of do some stuff here? Can I get a Rocks to get the little bit of information I need on this Pokemon? Or should I just go Chi-Yu and just press the advantage? I think a Volt Switch is pretty likely here. This is kind of a tough spot. If I get up my Rocks... If they Volt Switch, where do they go? Probably Rotom. I'm just going to go back to Chi-Yu. If they Volt Switch, that's a good play on their part. But I think they could get a hazard up here. Body Press. Okay, that's a good play. That is really unfortunate for me, actually. I did not really calculate that as being a possibility. Damn, I'm really surprised by that. Okay, let's just Iron Defense up then. If this is the play they want to go for, like, this is not doing... Like, once I start Iron Defensing up, this is not going to be doing a lot, and I can have an advantageous position for myself. Yeah, that's doing, like, 23. Yeah, 14. And now I get to +6. Alright, we just got to dodge crit here. This is doing like 5% each time. And then we get the kill. Perfect. Alright, up to 55. We're probably going Rotom here. If I had to guess. I think Choice Scarf Meowscarada. If I can get... I'm slowly running out of tools to do this. Is kind of a problem that I'm running into. Losing the Chi-Yu there was super annoying. I guess I should have just set up, I guess, like an Iron Defense there maybe. Would have just been like much better of like a sequence. I really just was not predicting Body Press on that turn. I didn't think that was like a super productive turn for my opponent. If I get burned, what happens if I get burned here? What are the outcomes of this turn? Rotom Wash. I think a Willow is pretty likely, right? Like you just burn me. The problem is I don't have a good way to play around the burn. I think I just Body Press and just get this thing low, and then hope the combination of Meowscarada and Iron Hands is enough. All right, they're just gonna Hydro Pump. Okay, we'll take that Pokemon with me. I think we've done just enough here. I think we've done just enough. What are the Iron Bundle calcs? Specs kills, but I think your Choice Scarf. I think your Choice Scarf here, to be honest. Yeah, you are Choice Scarf. Perfect. There we go. Big kill Dude, shout out Registeel, for real. That's my goat. Registeel is my goat for real for pulling this one out with the Iron Defense. Let's go. He tries to SD on me. I'm taking that with me. Registeel, your ass is getting dropped. Your ass is getting dropped at free agents. But you balled out that turn. You balled out. The NFL is back. Week 1 in the books. Let's go. So there we go. Registeel is at the top of the kill leaders in the Frost Battle League. But not for long, because it is getting dropped. I dropped this Pokemon before I even played the battle. It's just funny how it played out, right? That I pick up a big win with it. It dropped immediately. I'm a big Registeel stan, but part of it is I wanted a different Terra Captain, because I'm going to be honest, I kind of like came to the idea I came to in the draft analysis when I talked through this team. I'll be honest, I didn't know the Terra rules halfway through the draft, and I didn't get it myself. I didn't really want Iron Hands to be my second Terra Captain. I thought I was going to have to get something lower tier. And then it just turned out that that was the rule, so I just got Iron Hands. But we made some transactions. I picked up Archaludon. I have Slitherwing and Tauros on this team now. So I've dropped Spidops. We don't have any more Ursaluna Blood Moon. That Pokemon really just didn't feel like it was ever going to make sense on this team. No more Registeel. And then there's one other Pokemon that we dropped as well. And we dropped the Quillfish, which I have a lot of spikes setting on my team and a lot of hazard settings. So kind of surplus to requirements there. I don't know how I feel about this team still. I think I actually have 2 transactions. I thought it was 1, but apparently a mod told me it was 2. I don't think this is the final iteration of this team. There'll definitely be some changes later on once more people kind of drop some things that are interesting to pick up. But we're playing against KHD, and wow. I mean, look, I ran into Zarude week 1. I got Iron Valiant week 2. I got Spectre week 3. I mean, I showed how good Spectre is last season, right? Should be a good Pokemon. Let's take a look at my team here for this matchup. Getting into this, they've got a lot of threats. Like Iron Valiant backs Caliber, puts a lot of really interesting pressure on a lot of teams. Landorus is obviously one of the best defensive Pokemon of all time. Tentacruel is apparently just one of the best spinners in this format, allegedly. Everyone drafts it and it thinks it's good. I think it's all right? Like it's pretty good. I think L5 just gives it a lot of memes. And then Iron Crown and Terra Raikou are both interesting Terra Captains here, right? Raikou, obviously, ADV, Dominance, one of the best Pokemon there. Kind of interesting against my team, but I got a lot of tools for it. Iron Crown, a little less so, to be honest. I don't really, depending on the Terra, I do not have a lot of good answers to this Pokemon. So that Terra Captain is going to be very threatening. And we got Overquill. I don't have any removal on this team, so you know my opponent's going to get those hazards up on me. That is what it is. I'm used to playing against hazards, so that's the game I like to play. Let's get into the team that I brought. I have Power Gem, Meowscarada. This is a classic. I ran this in BB once for the Talonflame. This just picks off Talonflame. You only need 4 special attack EVs for most sets, especially ones that want to switch it. Meowscarada to switch in. Like, they want to switch in on Meowscarada, right? That have defense investments. So that should be pretty much a KO. If I bring this in a situation like against Landorus, like straight up where I'm not intimidated, or even when I'm intimidated, they have to play around Triple Axe, so they go Talonflame. I Power Gem, easy as you like. Gotta make a prediction, but I gotta be good with it. So we got Terra Fire Chi-Yu here. I didn't really have a good Terra for this Pokemon in this matchup. I was thinking to myself, it's like, what do I want to prevent with my Terra? It's like, well, I guess I don't want to get caught by Choice Scarf Landorus. I also don't want to get picked off by Ice Shard, but then like I don't want to get picked off by Iron Valiant. Like there's so many considerations. I was thinking, it's like, what is the best use case for it? Well, I think the best use case here, if I pick something off randomly with Flame Charge, I outspeed a decent amount of these Pokemon. If I get a Flame Charge off, Fire gives me the most ability to do damage with Overheat and Flamethrower, and the Dark Pulse is decent coverage. So I think this is the best way to get value out of it. I could be convinced of a multitude of Terra types, to be honest, in this spot. It really was a tough one, but I was thinking, it's like, look, I think Flame Charge Boots is probably the most value I can get out of this set, and Fire maximizes my damage. So I think we'll go with this set for this battle. I think this is the most likely to get me the most damage. I got a classic Volt Switch Iron Hand Citrus Berry here. I was considering bootsing the whole team because of the Overquill, right? Like obviously that's going to be important to have boots and everything because I don't have removal, but Volt Switch Iron Hands, Citrus Berry helps just like take like random like Scale Shot and Icicle Spears from Bax Caliber. Mainly is really important, so I can close combat and kill that if they view themselves in a position to kill a boot set, especially where my team is most likely to run boots. They might not expect the Citrus Berry, for example, right? Volt Switch obviously is very powerful against this team. The only switch in is a Landorus, which one has a lot of work to do in this matchup, to be honest. It kind of wants to switch in on a few things. especially like I have Earthquake Archaludon, so it's going to want to get aggressive on that at times if it can. So if I catch it with one Ice Punch, then that's going to be really good for me. And then Close Combat and Earthquake are very spammable into this team as well. So Iron Hands, I mean, it's got a lot of random utility. It can come in on stuff like Raikou, Baxcalibur, and stuff like that. But a lot of it is going to be like how we got to make aggressive clicks with this Pokemon, and hopefully use it to deal with Baxcalibur, one of the bigger threats in my opponent's team. Screamtail, this is honestly just a really good Raikou answer. This is a really good Iron Valiant answer with Roar. Prevents any like booster shenanigans sets, Calm Mind sets from Raikou from being a problem. Dazzling Gleam is a random coverage move because this can 2-hit KO Iron Valiant depending on the situation. And then Wish Baton Pass. Like Baton Pass, I need to get momentum because something like Iron Crown coming in for free on Screamtail is going to be really difficult for me to manage long term in this battle. So if I don't have a way to like prevent Iron Crown from coming in for free and just spamming Tachyon counter against my build, I'm going to be in trouble because our Archaludon has a lot to do in this battle, and I can't be losing a bunch of HP all the time. Mesprit's Stealth Rocker this week. Another Citrus Berry. I mean, this is what it's going to be every week, right? Like every time it comes, it's just kind of these middling sets. Gets up rocks, Healing Wish one of my broken Pokemon back, click a knockoff against my opponent's team, right? Psychic. Psychic coverage is a little odd, but I feel like I wanted an additional coverage move to hit Iron Valiant and Tentacruel, two Pokemon I could see this coming in on. At times, and the knockoff is obviously very, very broken into this team. Knocking off something like Iron Crown will be really important, depending on what item that Pokemon is. If it's like an AV or a spec set, getting rid of that item is going to be crucial. And then Assault Vest Archaludon, Terrabug. Look, back-to-back weeks we bring Terrabug, the best Terra type in all the land. This Assault Vest set, the Terrabug is really to flip the matchup on Iron Valiant. I can foresee a situation where my opponent wants to bring an Iron Valiant on Archaludon after I kill something. And I can Terrabug and live, like I think I take like a max like in the 70s, the very low 70s as like a max roll from even the spec sets. So this Terra type really is there as a lure for Iron Valiant. And while the Fire type, as I said, the Fire type is really nice on Chi-Yu, it's going to be very game dependent on whether I actually need that Terra type or not. So the Terra type here on our channel is going to be much more important, actually flipping a matchup and just getting rid of Iron Valiant, if at all possible. So that's a team. Let's get into the battle. So we got our transaction in for the second battle. Archaludon joins the team back from our last BBR season. This Pokemon is Fire. KHD has probably one of the best teams in the league. Iron Valiant is obviously going to be super problematic for me to deal with. I feel like he didn't bring something that I was kind of expecting. There was like a very, very powerful threat. This team's a little bit more middling. Oh, it's a Talonflame. I thought he was going to bring Talonflame. Talonflame seemed okay here, and it kind of ruins a little bit of my plan with Neoscarada. But I think what we want to do is just kind of start off with... this team never really had a good lead in this scenario. I think our Archaludon technically does the most here off the lead against most of what I want to lead against. I might have to burn Terra early here, which is not great. Elandris lead. Maybe didn't want to do that, but I think here, like, let's just preserve. We're gonna preserve our Terra and get into our own rocker. Like, if we get to trade rocks here early, that's pretty good for me. I'll take that all day of the week. Really would have, obviously having a hazard remover on this team, obviously, would have been nice. Like, we're going to have to see the Overquill come out here. But I do have, like, decent, like, I do have boots on everything that needs it, except this Iron Hands, which does not. I think I want to just go into Archaludon here. Archaludon is just going to be the easiest way to pressure this Pokemon offensively. Obviously, they're going to want to get their own spikes up, but I can just get an Earthquake here for free. Good damage. Wow, that is very physically defensive. What is... Okay, this is basically full bold then. But I know that Draco Meteor kills here if I click it. So I can just click Draco on the Lando as it comes in pretty freely. And that is almost a dead Landorus. Nice. We love to see that. I could obviously Terra here. That would be kind of shiced. But now, like, if you look at how we started this battle, a good chip. I think at this point we probably Terra our Chi-Yu, right? Like, Flame Charge into this team is going to be pretty good. Considering the Terra typing, obviously, like, we don't want to stay in here and like trade this off, but like we still need this for Overquill, right? Trying to think of like how I played. It's also Excalibur is not here, which was in kind of one of the bigger threats on this team. I think we'll just go Mesprit. We kind of want to keep Screamtail, I think, for the Iron Valiant. This is a really, really good turn for me here. I do have Healing Wish on this Pokemon, which will be super important later in the game. Expect a U-turn to come out here to try to pick me off. I don't have a good click into the Overquill, so I kind of just click Knockoff, I think. Get my Citrus Berry back up. It means I can come in on this Pokemon again, and I get to remove an item. If it's from the Overquill, it's from the Overquill. That's good. And then on the Overquill, the problem is it's still in range of Draco, right? Oh, I'll take this. Take an item off that is super nice. Yeah, AV is gone. Wow, that is a really good turn for me. I'll take that every day. I don't really have a productive productive turn to go for here, but like if you look at how like this game is played, kind of everything is going my way to start this. I need to see this as a Healing Wisher, so I'll just go into my... I need my Arch still. I want to come in a Tentacruel Overquill. On Iron Crown. Do I ever sack this Pokemon? I guess I can Healing Wish. I guess I can go Arch. I don't want to risk the Arch HP right now, though. Do we have to get rid of this Pokemon? We might have to. I'll just knock off again. It gets me a little bit more chip on this. Ooh, that crit's kind of nice. That crit probably guarantees it to be in range of Flame Charge, which is super funny. Yeah, I guess I have to get rid of this Pokemon now. I guess I can keep it for Healing Wish later, but I think I'm okay to let this go. Okay, Volt Switch. That gives me still the Switch initiative that I'm looking for here. Whether we go to something like Iron Valiant or the like. Iron Valiant is obviously a little bit annoying here, but I can go Screamtail and Baton Pass out. Right, I can go Screamtail. Yeah, Iron Valiant. Do you see a booster here? No. I mean, I'm going Screamtail on this. No, I'm calcing Screamtail into Screamtail, which is not what I want. I can Dazzling Gleam into Dazzling Gleam. Choice Specs isn't even a 2 KO, so we'll just go into this. We can Roar if it tries to CM in my face, but at the worst case, we get a little bit of chip here. We start to pressure this Pokemon, and they can go into Tentacruel, but then we get a free attack. So it's just Dazzling Gleam. I'm trying to think what I need to preserve. The problem now I'm running into thinking about this is this Raikou. My team is a little under-teched for Raikou in this battle. Like my set here has a Roar, which can Roar Raikou out. It's going to be hard to manage that Pokemon offensively with my team. Alright, that's a sack. We'll take that. Dazzling Gleam, Iron Crown down, so we've gotten ourselves into the game here a little bit. No Healing Wisher is a little bit rough. This is probably some sort of choice IV, and we keep all our HP on Screamtail, which means we can roar out the Raikou at some point. The problem is that is not good enough if it's a Last Mon Raikou. Last Mon Raikou is a little bit of a problem here in this battle still, but we might have to save our Archaludon for that and like Flash Cannon it. Yeah, in comes Raikou here. I don't take anything here, right? Do I just like set up a wish? So if it's Calm Mind, I think I just throw a wish up and like see if they want to Volt Switch, or if they Calm Mind, I can Roar and get back to full. So let's just wish here. Yeah, it's just going to be Calm Mind. So let's just roar this Pokemon out. Yeah, it's just going to try to get aggressive on this. All right, goodbye Raikou. A good effort from Raikou, but now that we know that's CM Raikou, then we don't have to worry about that Pokemon, at least for the time being. I also want to find an opportunity for this Iron Hands to do something, but it looks like that's not going to be as likely. I do think this is full defensive. This still handles... I'm at a little bit of a pickle in terms of how I want to answer this Raikou now, because I don't want to throw away our child on HP, but like this is full defensive. It's not doing much. I think I can come into it once and be content with that. Yeah, and we eat a Toxic here, which is super nice. They could get really aggressive here and go into Iron Valiant. I don't think that's like I don't think that's a good play. But like all things considered, do I have a reason not to assume that they would do that? I mean, they literally can't do anything to me, I imagine. And if they stay in and try to attack, like this Flash Cannon even has a chance to kill, right? So I'll just Flash Cannon and see if I can catch it. Alright, Lander's gone, which opens up my... This opens up my, what's it called? My Iron Hands to do a little bit more in this battle. Okay, in comes this. I could throw my Terra off here. Do I need the Terra on? I feel like they're baiting me to use the Terra. The problem is if I use the Terra, this Pokemon becomes extremely unusable against the Raikou. I think I have to preserve the... If I Terra and take this Pokemon out, the game state is super simple. The game state is super simple, but I'm in a position that I'm kind of a sitting duck against this Raikou because I have Dragon Tail because I'm AV. I still need to keep this Pokemon though. Screamtail Shadow Ball into Shadow Ball is obviously pretty tough. I mean, if he Shadow Balls, I learn the set. This is a tough spot. I feel like this Raikou has so much inevitability in this battle. I just need a little bit more chip on this for Flower Trick. I mean, a little bit. I need to get it to like 58. Could be SD. I think I like the Terra into Flash Cannon play here. Because if I get rid of this, if I ever Flame Charge, this Raikou is in range for Flamethrower from Terra Fire. If it gets to +1, it's in range of Overheat. So I actually think I Terra and attack to get this Pokemon, because I think Chi-Yu has the tools. Oh, the problem is I can't Terra then. So I guess I have to Overheat. Frig, I don't like all of these options. I think I like the option where I simplify the number of Pokemon he has, though. And I can still roar out the Screamtail. Let's Terra here. Okay, Choice Specs is interesting again on this Pokemon. Choice Specs is is kind of interesting here now, right? Why is he complaining about the Terra? Is he complaining about the Terra? I had like the Terra bug for it. I don't know what the complaint is. Well, now that I've got Choice Specs, is this just like kind of a problem for him? Yeah, like what does he do about this? I'm just gonna go Screamtail though. Just roar this thing out. Yeah, let's just keep this. Just keep this Pokemon from being a problem, right? We'll take a little bit of chip here. Yeah, it's not a lot though. And that Pokemon, we're now very close to clean up territory for Chi-Yu here. The fact that this is bug means I kind of struggle to switch in. But I think at this point I'm going to just switch in, right? Like if he clicks something that's a little annoying, that's fine. Toxic is okay. I get a free Choice Specs Draco Meteor here. And I get a free kill. So that's a free kill. How much damage did Toxic do? Oh, he's just going to come into this. I'm actually okay if he goes into this. I'll just... Crit is a little annoying. Give me some big damage here. Yeah, that's a little bit of chip. That's not big damage, but that is the damage put onto that Pokemon. And I just come into Iron Hands, right? What is my best way to finish this game off? I can Earthquake to kill defensive here. Yeah, let's just go Iron Hands here. Because the fact that his speed... What's the Raikou at? I can put this in range... This Raikou puts this in range of Flower Trick. So I'll just Earthquake. Get a little bit of chip. I think this is enough. I am obviously a little bit paranoid of these endgames. It's hard not to be. A little Citrus Berry action. And then we kill. And now we just chip this Pokemon down, right? Because Meowscarada will be able to outspeed this Pokemon and kill with Flower Trick. So let's just go for Earthquake. He's obviously going to Terra Blast. We'll live that because we're super bulky. And that's definitely now in range of Flower Trick. So that should be enough to pull the second win in a row in the Frost Battle League chat. We have done just enough to beat this. A very, very stressful game of Pokemon. But Flower Trick should be enough to clean this one up. So good game to KHD, 2-0. We've already doubled our win total, I think, from last season, which is truly hilarious that that's how that played out. But you know what? We'll take that. Big game. 2-0. Thanks for watching the video. We'll be back next time with another video. So see y'all later.